Well, while Thurman waits for Manny Pacquiao to come up with the choice and decide who will he fight next, there's a few opponents that he could fight. He did said that he wanted a tune-up, two tune-ups. That it wasn't gonna happen on 2019, baby. Well, it's okay then. Why not Adrien Broner? He refuses. He says that he doesn't want to fight Adrien Broner. That Adrien Broner needs to win. The Adrien Broner needs to win to get a shot to the title. But you said yourself you wanted another tune-up. So, what type of tune-up fight do you think that fighter is gonna deserve a title shot? I don't know. Really, I don't know. But we saw how Manny Pacquiao and Adrien Broner went down, and I can say it was on the right fight for the first few rounds. I thought it was very competitive. I thought Adrien Broner wasn't allowing Manny Pacquiao to do what he wanted to do. He was keeping the right distance. He had him on check with the left hook. He had him on check with the right hand. But then somehow, someway, Manny Pacquiao adjusted. He started to dodge that left hook, and he could, get closer and then his combination. While Adrien Broner was just not stop throwing punches. He just couldn't adjust. We didn't see any adjustment from the corner. The corner just couldn't tell him anything, like to be able to get into the Manny Pacquiao's position or get into the right distance or whatever. There's been plenty videos on how Manny Pacquiao been exposed, but he just couldn't do that. And I think that's the reason why Keith Thurman went out and started saying Adrien Broner's the AB stands for about bullshit. He just couldn't understand how couldn't he capitalize on Manny Pacquiao's mistakes or whatever, whatever he saw, and he thinks that probably after seeing that performance that any top welterweight could beat Manny Pacquiao. So why not him? It's the fight that he always dreamt about. There was two fights that he always wanted: the Mayweather fight or the Pacquiao fight. And after all, he's mandatory. You know how this works. Keith Thurman is the super WBA champ, and Manny Pacquiao is the regular WBA champ. But there's one thing: the Keith Thurman, we all know why he's so desperate, and it's because Manny Pacquiao is also looking to cash out. He also looking for the biggest fights, and we all know you are not his biggest fight out there. You perhaps are is the fight that the most winnable fight. I'm not saying that Manny Pacquiao is gonna beat Keith Thurman, but I'm sure I give them a bigger chance to beat Keith Thurman than beating Crawford or any other top welterweight out there. So, but what about Keith Thurman? If Manny Pacquiao just wanna wait for March, wait for Errol Spence Jr. versus Mikey Garcia, wait to see who wins that fight, since it is a 50-50 fight, skill versus power. Wait to see who wins that fight, and wait to see on the numbers that fight will report after the pay-per-view and all that, because it will make more sense for Manny Pacquiao to face one of these two fighters over here, since they will become pay-per-view start right after that fight. Pay-per-view star versus pay-per-view star will lead to way bigger revenues. So imagine if that happened. Imagine if Manny Pacquiao never picks Keith Thurman and picks the winner of Errol Spence and Mikey Garcia. Well, that will leave Keith Thurman with no other choice than either face another tune-up like he had in mind, or start facing one of those fights in which he barely won. Either against Danny Garcia will be one of those fights. It was a very competitive fight. It will be the fight that perhaps will be the most easier for him, since Danny Garcia also had the same type of problem that Adrien Broner has. He doesn't have a lot of punch output. He doesn't throw a lot of punches. If you are boxing him, he just does not know how to come forward like that. He does box very well on his back foot, and he can counter punch very well. But when it comes to Danny Garcia coming forward, we all know what's up. We all know he gets very exposed, and he barely throws punches because it's like a counter puncher trying to come forward without head movement and no footwork. It's like it was like a gift to Keith Thurman, made up for him, and he still struggled. Both walked away with a split decision. You know, maybe that's one of the fights that he could come back, unless, of course, he says that he need another tune-up fight, right? But if that's not the case, then another fight could be Sean Porter. We all know, he has his fight against Sean Porter already, and he clearly beat Sean Porter. It was a unanimous decision. Very competitive, very entertaining fight. But now Sean Porter is holding the WBC belt due to Keith Thurman vacating the WBC belt when he took off 2 years layoff. Danny Garcia and Sean Porter went at it for that belt, and well, Sean Porter beat Danny Garcia in a very competitive fight as well. Well, Keith Thurman, he could also go that route. He could definitely. That would be also a good fight, since Keith Thurman is vulnerable out there, so it gives these fighters a better chance, a bigger chance, to beat Keith Thurman, to be more competitive. Since we all know the other big fight out there, the one that been calling out for a minute, is Errol Spence versus Keith Thurman. But every time Keith Thurman is asked about Errol Spence, his energy and motivation changes dramatically. I mean, it is ridiculous. I just wonder what would happen if Mikey Garcia give a little exposure on Errol Spence on their fights. How will Keith Thurman react to that? Will he be like, "Oh, let's fight, let's fight"? I really doubt it. Keith Thurman doesn't seem to fight, doesn't seem to want to fight Errol Spence Jr., and neither acknowledge Terence Crawford as a true real champion in the welterweight division. He says that he doesn't acknowledge him, period, that he hasn't done anything in the division, that he only beat a one-dimensional, very predictable fighter in Jeff Horn, that he actually laughs about the fact, that he thinks that Jeff Horn never beat up Manny Pacquiao, which a lot of people think that is right. But we all know what's up, man. Terence Crawford is a three-division world champion, including that he is the former undisputed champion at 140 pounds. He is very skillful, and he has shown to the world and to all the experts out there that he is in fact an elite fighter with elite power and elite skills in the boxing ring. Terence Crawford is nothing to be messed with, and I think that's why Keith Thurman bashes him the way he does. He doesn't want nothing to do with Terence Crawford either. So where does that leave us with this Keith Thurman? I mean, like we said in the beginning of the video, he don't wanna nothing to do with these fighters. He says that he's calling out Pacquiao, but what about if Pacquiao, after his performance with Adrien Broner and all the pay-per-view numbers, what about if he just wanna wait for the other pay-per-view stars fighting? Once again, he's just looking for the bigger paycheck. But then there we go again. Keith Thurman does not acknowledge Adrien Broner as a possible tune-up fight, since that's what you ask in the first place. And not only Adrien Broner could be considered as a tune-up fight, which I'm very sure he will be very pissed off about it. But Adrien Broner will be also a big fight, probably the biggest fight you have ever got, Keith Thurman. So I don't understand why he says this thing about AB. I mean, it doesn't make any sense if you think about it in the business perspective. It could be a lot of make a lot of money with AB, but we don't know what's going on with AB. I mean, he's posting things about he's quitting and he's going back to the street. But whatever, going back to Keith Thurman. Um, I don't know what's up with Keith Thurman, man. We all know that he came back and he looked horrible against Josecito Lopez. A very game Josecito Lopez, not to take any credit from him, But he knows that he needs to adjust. He needs to come. That type of performance is not gonna make it. He might as well go back to his vacations and his celebrations with his beautiful life and beautiful wife, and and or maybe maybe that took the best from Keith Thurman. Maybe that's what he's really all about, and he just wanna be happy and chill with his own goals and his family, which I'm very sure that they are very proud of him. But I definitely don't see the hunger on Keith Thurman anymore. I mean, if you think about it, when you have a top level fighter talking about he need 2, 3 tune-ups, that it's gonna take 1 or 2 years for him to get back to the top on fights. Um, it's just difficult to believe. It's just difficult to believe that a fighter like that is still hungry. I mean, you got other top welterweights like Errol Spence Jr. posting on the social media. Who does Keith Thurman is gonna fight next? Nobody. That's what he said. Nobody. Another tune-up. And man, that's no respect. Where is the Keith Thurman that we all knew? Once upon a time, there was a one-time Keith Thurman. Where did he go? Where did he go? I cannot see him. And I think if you face Manny Pacquiao like you dream so much, shit, I think you might get stopped. Real shit. You gonna get stopped.